I will recognize the gentleman from Illinois, Mr. Casten.
Thank you, Mr. Barr. Director Chopra, great to see you again. I want to follow up on the conversation we had last June. We talked at that time about the 2022 complaint bulletin that had been issued, looking at complaints on digital assets that I think specifically said, quote, fraud, theft, hacks, and scams are a significant problem in the crypto asset markets that appears to be getting worse. I'm just curious, in the last 5 months, things getting better, things getting worse, or about the same?
You know, I don't have a great answer on this. It can often be difficult to determine. We look at our complaints. I will say that people have lost a lot of money through hacks. Yeah. They've cleaned out there. And another thing is that it used to be gift cards. People would ask someone to purchase a gift card in a fraud context, and now it's often, you know, a new technology like this. So it is something that the Justice Department, others, we're trying to get especially when it comes to targeting the elderly.
Well, I appreciate the confusion. And part of the reason I asked the question is we've seen a lot of public actions by Treasury, by the Justice Department, of course, the Binance news and the shutdown that's there, and obviously a lot of information will come out of there. While we were sitting here, I think the Treasury Department just announced that they're sanctioning Sinbad. That's a mixer that's being used to launder stolen assets, primarily to fund the North Korean nuclear program, as far as I can tell, from the public reporting. The Binance reporting said that the platform was being used to fund child abusers, sanctions evaders, a whole host of bad terrorist groups, and remarkably never filed a single SAR. And I'm not ranting to criticize them, but I'm just curious if that's a sign that we've got this under control, or are we just getting at the tip of the iceberg to go through? And
I think when you talk about new uses of data, and certainly when it comes to AI, digital assets, there's all sorts of ways that we constantly have to think about how it could be misused and not just.
Can you just on that point, in the 2022 report, you talked about the use of crypto for pig butchering. Can you just explain for the committee what that is?
Yeah.
Given as it's related to this thing about, I guess it's like high-tech gift card.
One of the ways that, including for older adults, a major way in which people are defrauded is often through romance scams, including through online dating websites, social media. And pig butchering is the concept of building trust over time at the end to ultimately wipe them out of their financial assets. So you see, unfortunately, a lot of that, and it can be very challenging, particularly when the fraudster has so much information about the target that they might be able to really trust.
Well, this shouldn't need to be said, but I'm proud to be said that we have a bipartisan opposition to pig butchering, to funding North Korean nuclear programs, to funding Hamas, to child trafficking. I think all of us on this committee want to make sure that we stop those. I am troubled by the fact that there is a common nexus in all those, which is crypto networks that are used to evade anti-money laundering rules. And I think we on this committee have some accountability to do with the fact that just within this term, we have passed 2 bills, the majority's passed 2 bills on a straight party line basis that would actually limit the ability of regulators like yourself to pursue anti-money laundering rules, to even have any authority to go after folks who are using unhosted wallets, these cryptographic assets. And if we genuinely oppose these things, we should stop the ways they're getting used. I'd also just want to raise a concern with some public reporting that's come out this week that Chair McHenry has been threatening to hold up the Defense Authorization Act unless we get a crypto-friendly bill, which is not going to make this better. And there's also been some public reporting that perhaps the currency will be to take out some protections against fentanyl use, which of course has also been listed in a lot of these reports as one of the common uses of cryptographic money. And I realize this isn't your concern, but I want to thank Ranking Member Waters for her efforts to block that. I want to thank Chairman Brown and the Senate for blocking that and just urge them to continue to do so, because we do need a fully funded Defense Authorization Act. We do need to make sure that our financial regulators have the tools to shut down money laundering. And my goodness, we'd like to put a stop to pig butchering, terrorism, North Korean nuclear programs, and child trafficking. So thank you, Director Chopra, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields.